girls, it's Wednesday. I have to go to school tomorrow, which sucks a lot of monkey butt, and I am finishing up some science homework that I need to hand in on Friday. So, I also want to kind of address this video to Jean more specifically. There are three basic things to high school. There's your friends, your grades, and your part in the school. With friends, I'm not exactly sure if your class goes to high school together, like if everyone in your 8th grade class goes to the same high school, maybe if you're new people, or if just like some people go to it. But if you don't know everybody in your new high school grade class, I recommend to have a few kind of go-to friends that you do know, so that in the beginning of the year you kind of have people to stay with while you're kind of getting to know new people, so you're not always alone. You don't necessarily have to be best friends with your kind of go-to friends the whole year, but also don't just treat them as like complete backups where it's like you ditch them unless you need them, because that's not a way to treat a friend. So for grades in the beginning of the year, do not talk in class. And I know it's annoying, you haven't seen people all summer, and you want to talk to them all the time. Talk to them before class, talk to them in the halls, like just anywhere other than class. Because it may not seem like a few little chats in class may make a big difference, but in the end it kind of does. Work hard in your classes to give your teachers a good impression of you, but don't do your best. It sounds weird, but don't go, well, do your best, but don't go over and beyond on your first set of projects or essays. I know in the beginning of the year in my English class, I worked really hard on like our first essay. I was like, I'm working this out, I'm getting good, and I got the first A+ that he gave out that year, but he expected that of my essays the rest of the year. So whenever I would get like maybe an A- or maybe a B+ on an essay, he'd be like, not as good as your first one, and I'm like, really, why did I have to, like, he expected so much. Like my essay, he said, was like junior quality, and I was like, now I have to have junior quality all year, yay. It seems weird, but don't set the bar too high for yourself. It just makes it extra stressful. Your part in the school, I recommend if you want to do a sport that you haven't really done much before, like you aren't intensely passionate about, I recommend to do that second semester, like in the spring, because it's a lot of commitment, and you kind of want to settle into the school first before you make a big commitment like that, because sports are really time consuming, and so is school, but you have to know if you can handle it. You have to know if you're one of those people who the schoolwork is really easy for you and you get it really done fast, so you might be able to do a sport, but if maybe it's really hard for you, you might not have time for a sport. I'd recommend waiting a bit to see how you are with the schoolwork before you go straight into like a commitment like a sport. I recommend clubs, and I would go into like kind of some kind of iffy, you don't have to stay in the club if you don't want to stay in the club type of clubs. I wish I didn't even have to mention this, but you know, I kind of have to because it happens at my school. Freshman Friday is the stupidest thing that I've ever heard. It makes no sense to me. Why? They haven't done anything to you. They don't even know you. Like, why? I never understand why upperclassmen are mean to freshmen. Like, I guess it's like initiating you into the school, lol. If you've heard things about Freshman Friday at your school, I wouldn't be worried during the school, because obviously there's like teachers and stuff around, and so they don't really do much in school. They can't really do much in school. At least for me, by my school, there's a big train station, and everyone just goes to that train station because it just has all the train lines that people need to take. So at the end of the day, all the freshmen just kind of go to the train, because everyone just goes to the train because you leave at the same time and you're just going. And it's kind of a really, it's really sadly a good target for upperclassmen. I remember last year I was walking in the back of the kind of group, and I saw these upperclassmen run through with stuff in their hands, and I was like, oh, it's Friday. I kind of peeked in to see what was happening, and like, they were throwing like eggs and mustard and ketchup and baby powder, and it was really stupid. It makes no sense to me. So I recommend, if you have like a bus stop you go to, or a train thing you go to, or if you're just walking home and there's kind of talk about a freshman Friday type of thing happening at your school, I would recommend find a different route that day. Go a few blocks over, maybe have one of your parents pick you up that day. It's a lot easier, and that stuff doesn't really happen throughout the rest of the year. It's just that one day you kind of need to just avoid it. So yeah, Jean, I hope you have a very nice freshman year, and if you have any more questions about freshman year, please ask us, because we are in high school. That was a nice ending.